If you try to play that game, the competition game, I'm the strongest, I'm the best, you lose that game.
If you have friends that make you wrong for changing your life for the better, that's their issue.
The truth of life is you can go anywhere you want. You can be anything that you want. You can become anyone you want to become. At the end of the day, the choice is yours.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believe in life. Out here living that believe in life. Every day we living that believe in life. Hustle like we living that believe in life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believe in life. Oh, that believe in life. Oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back: a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know you've got something more inside you. You've got Michael Jordan level genius at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn the 5 painful truths that you need to deal with. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with truth number 1. Purify your heart set with Robin Sharma.
The big lie of positive thinking. If positive thinking was the real game changer, then why do so many people who think positively and they do their affirmations and they read the books and they go to live events and they do the online courses and they meditate and pray and journal on positive thinking, and yet 3 days later someone cuts them off in traffic and they're expressing road rage, or someone is a little rude to them in a restaurant and they feel bad about it for the next number of weeks, or something doesn't go right at work and they get aggravated or irritated or frustrated? Well, that's because mindset is not everything. Heart set is the other 50%. And heart set, as I've suggested, is your emotional life. You see, you can have a great psychology, a strong mindset, but if your emotional life is full of pain, if your emotional life is full of resentment, if you haven't processed through old heartbreak, if you are full of latent, dormant anger, well, then you have what I call, and this is really important, so write this down, you have this invisible subconscious field of hurt suppressed deep within you. And so you are trying to optimize your mindset by reading the books and being around positive people and seeing the blessing amidst difficulty and doing all the things that you're encouraged to do, but you're not dealing with the second piece, which is your heart set. And so you've got this field of hurt that is suppressed deep within your subconscious, so you don't even know about it. Now, this is really important. That field of toxicity, that field of hurt, that old pain, that old anger, that old frustration from all the things that you've experienced in a human life that hurt you. It's invisible. And yet the people around you are feeling it. It's creating self-sabotage because your psychology is saying go out and be legendary, and yet this invisible field of hurt is saying I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm not enough. There's all this self-hatred. And so this is the missing link to personal transformation, because we get it intellectually in terms of our mindset. We know what we need to do to be exponentially creative, productive, elite performers, to have lives full of prosperity, but we get it in the head and we miss it in the heart because society does not teach us how to purify our heart sets.
Truth number 2, don't play to compete with Grant Cardone.
I'm going to tell you a really, really important lesson. Do not try the competition thing. It's overrated and it doesn't work, and I'm going to prove it to you right here in a second. Okay? This is a private, what's called an FBO. Everybody that flies in here owns their own aircraft. You don't want to try to be the biggest jet, okay? You don't want to try to be the most money. You don't want to try to be the best of the best. There'll always be somebody faster and stronger. and richer, okay? Don't play the game. Oh, I gotta be number one. What does that even mean, man? I gotta be the biggest. What does that even mean? I gotta have the biggest car, the biggest watch, the hottest chick. What does that mean? It's a game you cannot win at, okay? You will get your brains handed to you. I'm gonna show you what I mean right here in a second. That plane right there. That's a little Learjet right there. I think it's a little Lear or Phenom. I don't have all my jets right, okay? I don't know, you can buy that plane for about 800 grand. Right next to it. Little bigger. Look what's rolling up right here, a little Challenger. We got a little Gulfstream 4 right there. That sleeps 13. Don't try to play the game. I'm the biggest. That's stupid. It's a stupid game, okay? It's a loser's game, man. I'm gonna show you some equipment out here because anybody, like here's a little Phenom 100. That plane's about $5 million. Great plane, so fast. Seats 7 people, okay? Maybe $4 or $5 million. Great plane, great starter plane. But look at this. See that right out there? That's a 20 passenger jet right there. Okay, now notice what's right next to it, John. Okay, that's a 727 that a hotel owns. If you try to play that game, the competition game, I'm the strongest, I'm the best, you lose that game. You gotta find what you need in life. What's enough for you? You guys gotta define that. I can't define it for you. Most people are coming up short on that game, but there's a lot of other people that are making the mistake when they get in the game and they start playing, they gotta keep reaching, not because they need it, but because their ego is like, oh, I gotta be the biggest. And you know what? You're gonna turn into a like that. A hotel owns that. That plane's probably $200 million back there. The point is, don't play, I gotta be the strongest, because sooner or later you won't be. Find out what you need. Look, the ass on that plane over there. Hey, look at my little plane. Look at my little plane. See, you're like, man, Grant, man, your little plane. Now flash over to this one. See, if I'm doing the comparison thing, the competition thing, it's a loser's game. Look at that thing flying in here. Can you get that? Dude, a guy told me once he was flying into New York. He landed his plane. He's like, man, I thought I was hot until I hit this freaking airport in Teterboro. I said, dude, why don't you still feel like hot? Because my plane's smaller than their planes. I'm like, shame on you, bro, for playing a game you can't win at.
Hey, man.
Everett, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
You got a book coming out, don't you?
You just came out.
Where can people get it?
Get it on Amazon, easiest spot, built to serve, right there.
Let's go, man. If you guys don't know Evan, follow Evan Carmichael. He's got a new book out, Build to Serve. Go grab it today at Amazon. There's a good dude right here.
Truth number 3, categorize your friends with Mel Robbins.
If you have friends that make you wrong for changing your life for the better, that's their issue. It's not yours. And so you got to untangle the fact that they have baggage about getting in shape, or they have baggage about going to the bar that's theirs, and it has nothing to do with the decisions that you're making. So if your friends in general give you blowback for changing for the better, what you need to say in the back of your mind is, interesting. They're obviously very conflicted about their choice to go to the bar and drink every night, but that has nothing to do with me. Here's the other thing you can do. If they start to make you wrong, you can say, well, you want to go to Planet Fitness with me instead? It doesn't sound like you want to be at the bar. So that said, let me talk to you a little bit about friends. Friends are people that you care about. And I have this test, I call it the funeral test. If somebody in your life were to die, ask yourself, would I go to their funeral? If the answer is yes, they're a friend of yours. That's the test for whether or not, in my opinion, someone is a friend, because it means you care about them. Now, here's the other thing about friendship that I want you to understand. You can care about somebody and not like hanging out with them. And that's the situation that you're in right now. That you have plenty of friends that you care about. If they were to die, you would go to their funeral. If they needed you, you would be there. If you saw them, you'd be happy to see them. But you don't like to hang out with them. The other thing that I want you to think about is that, and that's okay, that's like a normal part of friendship. And the reason why that's a normal part of friendship is because one of the things that we know about life is that you're always going to be changing. In the old pattern and the old chapter, you had certain patterns, right? In the old chapter of your life, you would go to the bar and drink. You would go to the store and spend money you didn't have. You're in a new chapter now. And so you have different patterns. When your life takes on different patterns, whether it's you're no longer going to the bar, you're going to the gym, the pattern might even be that one of your kids is playing with a different soccer team, or maybe you've moved to a different street in your town. When the patterns change, so will your circle of friends. It's a fact of life. But that doesn't mean your old friends, the ones that you used to drink with, aren't friends anymore. It just means that you don't want to hang out with them. You still care about them, but you don't like doing what they do. The patterns have changed. For a long time, I had a lot of drama around this until I realized that it's not personal. It's not personal that you don't want to hang out with them. Patterns in your life have simply changed. The final thing that I want to leave you with that may also help you is that, remember, I've given you the funeral test. If you'd go to their funeral, they're definitely a friend. It means you care about them, but you might not like hanging out with them that much, and that's cool. That's normal. The other thing that I want you to think about when it comes to friendships is you can typically put friends into 3 buckets. You got friends for a reason, you got friends for a season, and you have friends for a lifetime. And one of the interesting things that I know about my own life is that as the patterns of my life change, so do the friends that I hang out with more frequently. And I also believe that as you change and the patterns in your life change, people show up in your life for a reason. The right people will show up when you start going to the gym. The right people that you need for the pattern that you're in right now will start showing up when you're working on your project instead of shopping. And it's exactly the kind of people that you need. They're there for a reason. And the friends of yours that are friends of yours for a lifetime, I bet you don't hang out with them that much at all anyway. But I bet they're the first person that you call when you need to talk to somebody about somebody important. Those are the friends for a lifetime. And those folks that are still sitting at the bar and love to blow money that they don't have, those were friends for a season. So if you're wondering how to cope with feeling guilty about distancing yourself, and if you're wondering how to stop feeling like a bad and unloyal friend, understand this, friendship, it's really not about you. It's about the category in which people fit in, depending upon what pattern and what chapter of your life that you're in. That's it. Like, lose the drama about it. The friends at the bar are friends for a season. The people that are going to show up when you start going to the gym are friends for a reason. And the people that you need to call whenever you've got a problem, they're friends for a lifetime, and they're always going to be there.
Truth number 4, overcome doubt and failure with Lisa Nichols.
What I know is I've had many, many moments of doubt. I've had tons of moments of feeling like I failed. I've had more moments of loss than I care to remember. And I love the question, what do I do to push past those? And there's no, I don't know if you can tell, but I don't ever prepare an answer for your questions. I simply see what comes up, because that's what you're here for. You're here for a conversation with a sister friend, authentic, truthful conversation. So when you ask the question, what do I do when it feels like I failed, when I feel like I've lost, or I have moments of doubt? I do a few things. So let's talk about when I have doubt, because doubt normally happens before failure. So, because doubt is in the planning. And what I realize is doubt is like fear for me. And I use doubt and fear in the same way. So doubt feeds me the information that I don't have enough information. So let me say that again. Doubt feeds me with the insight that I don't have enough information. Because if I'm doubting the idea, I'm doubting the direction, I'm doubting the strategy or the plan, then I realize that I don't have enough information to get me to a very clear no. Sometimes heck no, or H no, or yes, heck yes, H yes, right? Doubt says, I don't know enough. I don't know enough. Doubt about anything, anyone. Doubt about a business plan, doubt about a direction in your life, or doubt about a person. And sometimes you can gather all the information you can, and then the rest is blind unwavering faith. There's two things that can dissipate doubt. Collect more information and know when it's time to lean on your faith. But when you lean on your faith, it's because you're moving in a direction where you can say, I know I'm supposed to be in this direction. A lot of times when people lean into their intuitive calling, their intuitive pull, and they're going in a direction they know they should go in, but they're doubtful of what's in that direction, it's because, to me, you couple an intuitive movement with a solid plan. When you have both of those, man, you win like you win, or at least you cannot lose, because you took what felt right and you put a solid plan under it. The mistake I see a lot of people make is that they're so engaged in the intuitive pull that it feels good, that they think that feeling good is enough. No, you need to make a plan. How many hours a day are you gonna create the infrastructure under that feel-good feeling? Because I guarantee you, if you don't put enough action, enough consistency, and a strong enough strategy under something that feels good, it ain't gonna feel good for long. And that's a relationship too. You gotta plan. The best thing I heard with a therapist was, you gotta plan for the fight. Not assume we're never gonna fight. You gotta plan for the fight. As a matter of fact, you gotta set guidelines on the fight. Oh, when I first heard, I thought, what are you talking about? Quit calling into existence a fight. And then I lived long enough, that was in my early 20s, by the way. I lived long enough, was in enough relationships, friendship, family, and romantic, to realize, no, there's a thing called healthy disruption, healthy conflict. I never thought that there was such a thing called healthy conflict. If you don't engage in healthy conflict, which means it's absolutely okay to disagree. Matter of fact, it's necessary to disagree, because then we find how we communicate, how we engage, how we give and take, how we expand and contract, how we ebb and flow, how we compromise, how you find yourself out inside conflict, inside stretch, inside failure, inside setback. You discover who you are, and more importantly, who you have the opportunity to become. Either you show up in such a way you go, man, I surprised myself. I didn't know I could do that. I can rise above cancer like that. I didn't know I can rise above illness or above breakdown or above setback like that. Wow, okay. Or I sat down on myself. I gave up. I got hooked in being right and being in control, and I ran away from the relationship too fast. I stopped it too fast. I allowed a speed bump in this relationship to become a stop sign. It wasn't a stop sign to begin with. It was a speed bump. It was a hiccup. It was a moment of discovery. It was a moment of discord. It was a moment of disruption. And I allowed what was supposed to only be a speed bump to turn into a stop sign. I only know that in such detail because I've done that myself. Here's the other thing, is that when you've managed doubt with the things I just mentioned, and you leap, and you jump with the intention to fly, and you fail. Be willing to fail. But don't fail and just fall. Because if you fail and just fall, all you're going to do from that point is collect evidence why you should never leap again.
And truth number 5, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is free your mind with Tom Bilyeu.
As Franz Kafka said, you are free. That is why you are lost. Look around you. There are no guardrails on your life. The reality is that people have tried to paint a picture for you that says that there are certain things that are right. They've tried to paint a world for you that has a path well laid for it for you to follow. Go to school, get good grades, get a degree, get a job, retire. That's the plan that everybody wants you to believe is really the plan. But the reality is that you are free to choose anything you want. The reality is that you can go in any path you want. The reality is that path is an illusion. The truth of life is you can go anywhere you want. You can be anything that you want. You can become anyone you want to become. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. At the end of the day, you get to construct yourself. You get to decide what it is that you want to believe, as long as you're not violating the laws of physics. Even physics is a game of maybe. Even physics is uncertain and unknown. At the end of the day, everything that you get to do, you get to choose, you get to create, you get to build something that you want to be. And in that, that's where people get lost. They don't understand that the control is theirs. They're lost because they think there's a path. They think there's a way forward. And emotionally, it doesn't resonate. Emotionally, they're unable to make it feel real. Because it doesn't feel real. They feel lost. They're unsure. They don't know where to go or who to become or even who they are. And that sense of being lost comes from the freedom of being able to choose anything you want. But no one told you that you could choose. But as Tupac Shakur said, reality is wrong. Dreams are for real. It's the dream that you want to focus on. The dream is your ability to construct that path. The dream is you saying, this is the way that I want to walk. The dream is you saying all of this nothingness, all of this mass confusion, all of this probability and uncertainty. I am going to manifest something real and concrete and directional in my life. I choose to be who I am. I choose to be who I become. I choose to build something with my hands, to create something that has never been seen before, to do something that people have never done before, to believe in things that other people cannot see. That dream is my reality. That dream is what I'm going to bring into existence. That dream is the thing that I believe in. And in believing in that dream and building that path and finding out and deciding who you want to be, for the first time you will find yourself in yourself becoming. So go become what you want to be. Don't worry about walking somebody else's path.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you just get motivated, the sign says you have a 35% chance of actually following through. That's not good enough, Believe Nation. We got to take action. But when you get motivated and then you create a specific plan of action for when and how you're going to do it, your number jumps from 35% to 91% chance of following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like posting down here in the comments below, that number jumps to 95%. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so you can follow through and I can celebrate you.
If you're not happy, it's because you're not serving. Period. If you keep waking up every day and feeling like today doesn't matter, that it's not going to serve anybody, then you won't be happy. I think this is unfortunately where so many people are. You wake up and you feel like, I'm not going to make anything today that matters. Nobody cares if I show up. The work I'm about to do is not meaningful. That's the path down to depression. Meanwhile, if you do wake up and feel like today matters, I'm going to make something that will serve somebody else, touch somebody's life, whether it's the world or just one person's life. If you feel like today is going to matter to somebody else, like what you're going to make today will matter, will touch at least one human life, you're going to wake up a lot happier, a lot more fulfilled, and with a lot more purpose. I look at this. I'm here making videos on a winter day here in Toronto, Canada, making videos, just talking to my phone. And even though I'm just by myself, well, I'm not quite by myself, I've got Nina. Hey, Nina! I'm just talking to my phone, but I feel like what I'm making is gonna hopefully touch you. That I'm not just talking into my phone, that I'm talking into the world. And maybe this video blows up and gets 1 million views, or maybe 8 people see it. But the intention going in is that today is gonna matter. When I woke up this morning, it's a Tuesday morning when I make videos. Tuesday is my YouTube day. I look at my calendar, I see what's on there. It's like, I'm gonna make videos today that are going to touch somebody's life. And some of them do blow up, right? We've got 400 million views on the channel, and some of them don't go very far, and that's okay too. People ask me, how do I stay so consistent? How have I made videos? I've been making videos since April 2009. I've been making a video, at least one video a day for the past, I don't know, 7 years? How do I stay consistent? How do I stay on it? Because it's serving. Even though it's just me talking to a phone or talking to camera, there's no audience, it's serving. At least I feel like it's serving. And that's the difference, right? If you're making something every day, you may not always get the end result, right? A lot of times if you're making a product, it may take you weeks or months to actually get something out to the market before you can actually give it to somebody and see their reaction. But how do you feel about it? The problem is the feeling. You don't feel like it really matters, and if you feel like it doesn't really matter, you won't show up as your best self. You won't put in the energy, you won't put in the effort, and you're gonna slowly slip into a really negative spot. That's why so many people are depressed. So you have to be able to connect what you're working on to serving others, period. It's why I wrote Built to Serve. You wanna know, so how do you do it, right? How do you actually connect purpose? How do you actually serve? Well, that's why I wrote Built to Serve. And super quick, there's a 3-step process I guide people through. It's the who, the why, and the how. And the who is to figure out your most important core value. Mine is believe. What's yours? You know, if I'm not happy, it's because there's not enough belief in my life, either in myself, lack of self-belief, or believing in other people. When you figure out what your most important core value is, your who, it gives you your compass, your roadmap for the rest of your life. I'm going to believe in people until I'm gone. I'll be 180 years old, making hologram, VR videos, or whatever technology's out there, still trying to believe in other people. So the first step is your who. And if you think about all of the things that have made you come alive, your favorite movie, your favorite teacher, the people in your life who you love the most, who give you energy, there's a common theme between them. Mine is believe, yours is something else. When you figure that out though, it gives you a lot more clarity and a lot more direction and a sense of how you're going to serve, right? I serve people by giving them more belief. That's why I make these videos. So who? The next is your why, and your why is your purpose, and your purpose comes from your pain. You want to talk about fulfillment, you want to talk about serving, you want to talk about living your purpose. Everybody wants to serve and help, but the ones who will help the most, the ones that we'll feel the most connected to, are the people who currently are who we used to be. It's great to buy a coffee, you know, for somebody behind you in line, or when you're driving like this, let somebody else in front of you. Those little acts of kindness, that's fantastic. It'll make you feel good for the moment. But the deep fulfillment, the deep level of service will come from seeing somebody in front of you and seeing yourself in them, seeing yourself from 5 years ago. And then in you talking to them and you uplifting them, you start seeing the hope in their eyes, that light bulb moment for them, that they don't have to stay stuck where they're at. Because of meeting you, they can transform their life. They can end up in a better spot. You've given them the hope and inspiration in a way that nobody else can. When you see somebody like that and you help them, that's so much deeper. That's real fulfillment, and you'll never get sick of it.
If you want to learn the 7 fundamental truths that will change your life, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
But if you're eating junk and then pizza and then Burger King and more burgers and more junk afterwards, and then you eat 1 piece of broccoli, doesn't mean you're going to be healthy. Working out once won't make a big difference for you.